Rabbit Hole Roundup, episode 47. IRobot is coming true. What's going on with all these robots that Elon Musk just revealed a few days ago? And why do they look eerily similar to the ones that were shown in the movie IRobot?
I had hoped you would come to think of me as your friend.
And speaking of which, I'm pretty sure the director of iRobot actually sued Elon Musk for this. Is AI all bad, or can it actually be used for good also? I'm going to be asking a lot of these questions in this episode. I'm also going to be talking about a powerful clip about using fear to actually find your purpose. I'm also going to be talking about a funny clip when it comes to this idea of overhydrating.
Ice cold water.
But actually, there's some truth to it. And how to actually hydrate properly, which I actually do have a full video on Jared and James' channel on. As well as two super powerful Jelly Roll clips in honor of his new album, Beautifully Broken. And even though I don't know him personally, I've actually become a huge fan of his. Especially over the past few months, because he's all about promoting super positive messages. He's all about helping people through his music and through his words. So I love what he's speaking about recently, and so I'm going to do my best to keep sharing his powerful clips. So we've got all that and possibly even more, so without further ado, let's dive into this rabbit hole now. Dun dun dun!
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Jared Weiss. If you guys didn't know that, must mean you're not subscribed to the channel, so you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, be sure to leave a like, drop a comment, let me know your thoughts on this video, follow me on every platform, and if you guys haven't done so already, make sure to check out my book, Fight Through It by Jared Weiss. All the links to purchase it are on my website, which is jaredryanweiss.com. That's JAREDRYANWEISS.com. Buy the book, support me, because as far as I see it, it's a win-win, because it is a super powerful, super inspiring book, so it can help you guys, and it would help me too if you guys could support me with it. So let's dive into this rabbit hole now. So to start things off, I'm going to be sharing with you guys a Luke Rudkowski clip talking about these robots that Elon Musk just revealed a few days ago, and then I'm going to be talking about the implications of these robots possibly.
Oh boy, the robots are coming as Elon Musk just debuted his Optimus robots that will be able to complete tasks that the migrants usually do for the people of America, as the robots could, quote, serve drinks, walk your dog, water your plants, help with packages, clean, and even watch your children. Yeah, no thank you, as the price tag of these robots will be around $30,000. And would you buy one of these? As of course, I absolutely won't. As of course, you thought the Amazon Alexa CIA spying device was intrusive, which sent multiple people to jail. Now this is just another level. The first thing I'm reminded of is, of course, the iRobot movie that was released nearly 5 years ago, where the robots meant to make your life more convenient just go crazy and start destroying all human life. The robots even look alike. Now, what will happen here? Will they annihilate all of us? Well, I think the worst part will be when the robots learn how to make boom boom, and then truly, you will see the end of humanity.
So, if any of you guys haven't seen the movie iRobot, I fully suggest you guys do, because it actually is one of my all-time favorite movies ever made. And of course, a lot of what's going on these days is actually very reminiscent of that movie. So seeing that movie is going to help you guys to understand what could possibly go wrong with what's going on these days when it comes to the rise of technology, the rise of AI, and using robots to complete all of our tasks.
Any idea what this one robot could do? Completely shatter human faith in robotics.
Now look, I still don't know what the ultimate outcome of AI is going to be. I think we've all been taught to believe, or programmed through all these movies, this rise in technology, this rise in AI is going to automatically mean the end of humanity.
Robots are taking over the world! Our world!
And of course, some people are going to take this to believe technology is all bad, and AI is all bad, and it can't be used for anything positive. Or on the other hand, you also have people who are all for it, and who are all for putting chips in their brains and merging with technology. Now, I used to be one of the people who was on the first end, which was thinking technology and AI is all bad, but I've actually come to lean more towards the middle these days, because a lot of this actually comes down to our own intentions and our own purpose behind using AI or behind using technology. On the one hand, it can be this thing where we literally merge with technology.
Beep boop boop bop boop boop beep.
Why was Mr. Krabs making all those beeping sounds? Could it be that he's a robot?
And leave and check out of the real world, which a lot of people have essentially done these days anyways. But what if we could actually use this AI and use this technology alongside us to actually benefit us? And to actually use it for powerful creative purposes, for increased efficiency, but like without actually letting the tool use us. I'm not for allowing ChatGPT to take over our lives, but in the same breath, I also do see like a lot of people who are actually benefiting from the help of ChatGPT and getting knowledge through it and like using it like to enhance people's creativity alongside their already working powerful brain. I'm not for people outsourcing all their power to it, but can we actually use our own creativity alongside the ChatGPT, along with the powers of our own minds, and create like a positive singularity effect without like the whole dystopian future on the other end of it? I think it possibly can be done. Let me know your thoughts on this, because I think it's definitely a very interesting subject of contention and debate. Now, also, like, to be honest, like, I still have no idea what to make of Elon Musk. I've heard all the people like who are in the truther world claim like he's gonna be the Antichrist. I've also heard like all the people who think like he's gonna be the savior. Could he be someone like who didn't know what he was doing and then got used by the elites, quote unquote? And then could he have possibly woken up and is now trying to help humanity? Maybe. Could he possibly be a time traveler, which I've also heard? Is he part of the big club that like none of us are in?
It's a big club, and you ain't in it.
I definitely lean towards that. I mean, especially someone with his power and like someone who's gotten all the government grant money that he has. I definitely lean towards him being part of this big club that like none of us are in. But I also like to judge people based on like their actions and like how they've been doing lately. So like Elon Musk, of course, has done like a lot of great things when it comes to Twitter and when it comes to opening up and like believing in true free speech. But I also think like SpaceX is like another money laundering operation, which is all focused on deception and convincing us like there's more than up there as opposed to out there.
You can tell it's real because it looks so fake.
And like getting us further away from God. And of course I've also seen like some of his past like Halloween costumes, like what he's named his kids. So like there's definitely a lot of like sketchy stuff there. And of course I'm not gonna fully trust someone who believes in putting chips in people's brains with the whole Neuralink stuff. But on the other hand, what if he's here like trying to bring about the inevitable when it comes to like all this technology and AI? And what if like this technology can actually be used as like a medium for other entities, positive ones even, to come into this world and like help us to bring about more peace, more harmony, and more love? I'm not sure. Who knows? I don't think any of us actually knows for sure. No matter how much like everyone's gonna try to tell you like they know for 1,000% like this person's controlled. Once again, I lean towards it with him, but that's why I would always rather be someone like who stays open-minded rather than jumping to conclusions and speaking in certainties, because I believe like that every person like can change their lives and can change their mind at any time. So like I'm gonna leave it open-minded. What do you guys think? Next topic. So the next topic is gonna be based on like this idea of your fear could actually guide you towards your purpose, and like it can actually show you what you should be doing and like what you have to do with your life. Let's watch together.
Carl Jung said, where your fear is, there is your task. And I love that because fear isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's a signifier of importance. You're afraid to go into a job interview. You're afraid to propose to your girlfriend. You're afraid to do all sorts of really, really good things in your life. So fear isn't necessarily bad. It's not something you should avoid. It just means that something important is happening and you need to pay attention. So where your fear is, that is your task.
So based on this, whatever it is like that we're fearing, a lot of these things can actually be like aligned with our purpose and like aligned with our higher purpose, but like it's up to us like to actually take on the challenge, do the thing that may be like on like this unconventional path, because doing that is actually gonna help others. It's gonna lead us towards like our ultimate purpose. And so fear, of course, it has like its reasons for being there. And like as I said like in one of my clips on the Jared and James channel like this past week, I'm not telling you guys like to do anything that's gonna like put your life in danger.
I meant to live life to the fullest, not to maim yourselves.
But like maybe it is like taking that career choice like you've been afraid to take, even though like doing that like is actually what lights up your soul, but like you've been afraid to do that because others might judge you, or maybe like it doesn't have like a guaranteed salary. So like taking good positive calculated risks are actually necessary to find our purpose. And if we ultimately overcome our fear, a lot of times like what we're actually going to realize is like that fear was actually an illusion, and that illusion was actually keeping us in this box. But like if we can actually break free and break past that, we're going to reach new heights and we're going to reach new goals. So very powerful clip right there. Next clip I want to get into is Josh Peck, one of the famous actors, famous on one of my all-time favorite TV shows, Drake and Josh.
You can't hit real golf balls in our room. Sure I can. Watch this.
So like, he spoke about how the lie of hydration, we have all been like bamboozled into believing that like everyone has to drink 8 glasses of water a day, and like the more water you're drinking, the more hydrated you are. So like of course he's gonna do this from a joking standpoint, but like I actually have like some truth in this.
Do you know the people that have been pushing this idea of 8 glasses of water a day? Do you know where that came from?
No, tell me.
The beverage industry. That too.
Bastards.
What are you, nuts? We're all overly hydrating. You know who's pushing this narrative? Stanley, okay? You're walking around with your gallon jug thing. Everyone's sipping. We're like the little hamsters in the Enough already. You know how you know if you're hydrated? You thirsty? No? You're good. You're getting enough hydration. What are you, nuts?
So, of course, he's talking about this like from a humorous perspective, but like, he's actually not totally wrong. Especially because what have I learned when it comes like to my whole holistic healing journey is like plain water actually doesn't like hydrate us because it doesn't have any minerals and like doesn't have anything to like slow down our body. So like it's actually gonna like strip our body of minerals because it's just like gonna pass right through us and like it's gonna come out on the other end. Now it's not to say like there's no place at all like for plain water, but like the best sources like of like actual hydration are gonna be fruits, because fruits actually have structured water, which is actually needed to provide our body with the highest amount of hydration. And then like you can also like, add things to your water. So like, you can also add lime juice, you could add lemons, you could add some like good high quality sea salt, you could add chia seeds, because all those things are actually going to provide nutrients to your body. And then as a result, like the cells like are actually going to uptake the water as opposed to just like getting rid of it. And it's also like not totally wrong when it comes like to if you're not thirsty, why are you drinking? I don't get it. It's like same thing where if you're not hungry, why would you eat like 1,000 calories of food? So listen to your body, listen to your own hydration signals, stay hydrated, but like remember, you can also like eat like a lot of your water also. And doing this a lot of times is actually going to be way more hydrating compared to like just like drinking and guzzling gallons and gallons of plain water. Next up, I'm going to share 2 of my favorite Jelly Roll clips from this past week. So like recently he's been going on like all these like podcasts like in honor of his new album Beautifully Broken, which happens to be like really good. Like there's a bunch of like great songs, great overall messages, and like I've actually become like a huge fan of Jelly Roll recently, especially because like I see him as someone who's been flawed in his life, but like he's really trying like his best like to make a huge difference and like to help others like to not make the same mistakes that he did like in the past. So this first clip is like related to like his recent diet and like how he actually lost like over 100 pounds, but like how he's actually been appreciating and counting the small wins along the way.
I had a moment the other day, I was telling Schultz this. It was a really small win, but for a lifelong food addict. Joe, I was up to 550 some pounds. I was having to weigh myself at meat places. And I was telling him that I used to walk in and like a drug addict, I would scan the room and make a count of everything I could eat. You know what I mean? Like if you had like the little baby Snickers and a little thing or da-da-das and like the other day I was in my green room and somebody was in the green room and they picked up a piece of candy and said, "Did you want one of these?" Because we just got hit a dab or something. I didn't even know the candy was in there, Joe. Because normally they get the candy, they don't put shit like that in my room. And that was the first time I was like, oh, I'm on to something. Like I'm winning right now.
Right.
Like I didn't even notice that I could have been eating them for 5 hours. Right. And I didn't know. You know what I would have ate them all. I didn't even scan for candy. It's not even a thought now when I walk into places. Is there a candy dish here? You know what I mean? That used to be literally one of the first things I would look for. You know, is there a candy dish here? I've had to make so many different small habit changes. I feel this good just losing 100 pounds, Joe, and I've never told my weight, but I'm going to tell it here because I want some accountability from people. I'm 420 something now, 420. And imagine I'm walking around different, talking different. Sure. My shoulders are setting different. I'm fucking my wife different. I'm just kind of, I'm moving different.
Bro, you probably have crazy powerful legs.
Dude, it's crazy,
I bet you have massive leg muscles.
I've been going to the gym now. Listen, dude, as much as you can fit on that thing, I'm throwing.
Of course.
Throwing.
Think about it, man. You've been carrying around 500 pounds.
Yeah, 500 plus.
Your legs must be sturdy as
No, dude,
And if you could lose weight now, you can have like super legs. If you like keep going.
No, Joe, man, my goal is when I come back and do this next year, it's going to be insane. Like, I've never been more dialed in. I've never cared more about it. I've never been happier.
So, much respect, and I'm also like wishing so much luck to Jelly Roll like, on his health journey, because oftentimes we like to think of everything in like these massive steps and like we're only gonna celebrate like once we actually reach that goal. But what I really like about like the way he's approaching this is like he knows like the small tiny win, and like he's lost over 100 pounds like in this past year. And I have so much respect like for people like who are willing to walk into a gym, humble themselves, not be like the best looking, not be in the best shape, but still get after it every day in hopes of ultimately reaching their health goals. But the whole thing is, when we add up like enough of the little wins over time, and if we actually celebrate the little wins,
Yeah, it's time to celebrate.
this will ultimately like add up like to achieving our big goals, and maybe even further than that. I mean, as he was saying, as he's getting healthy, he's actually noticing like he has more energy. He's noticing that like his shoulders are back more. He's walking different. He's feeling different. He's acting different. Because health is everything. And if you don't have it, you're not going to be able to perform in any of your other tasks in life. So shout out to Jelly Roll. I also love like that like he's holding himself accountable. He's talking about like his future goals. And like he honestly has like the power like to inspire so many other people out there who've made wrong decisions, who haven't been their best, who haven't been like their best healthiest selves in the past. And like he's showing them that like your past doesn't have to define you. And your future could be totally different if you start with the small wins every day. And now the next Jelly Roll clip I want to talk about is coming from his recent song, Winning Streak. And like it has to do with like, he went to like all these AA meetings recently. And like, even though like he's not someone like who's fully bought into like quitting alcohol and drugs like completely, but like he's obviously doing much better like when it comes like, to all of his lifestyle choices. But like he's like a super powerful story from someone who comforted someone else like who was going through a really rough time, and like this actually inspired like the first song in his recent album. So I'm going to be talking about this like a little bit more in a sec, but like let's watch together.
I wasn't sure if I was going to tell this story, but I will. As a part of my journey of my mental health and with things I struggle with, I will pop into when I'm home NA or AA meetings. Even though I still drink and smoke pot, I don't claim to be a part of the program because I have so much respect for those who are sober, like can really live the clean, sober life by the program. But it's helped me so much not to go back to some of my demons. It's taught me about gratitude lists. It's just helped me a lot. And I go to, a few a year, never say nothing, just sit in the back quietly. I'm just in there trying to learn, Never went in there thinking like an artist, just kind of go in there thinking like an addict. So I just want to be an addict in here. That's why I don't talk. And I watched a man having a breakdown in there. And this happens, you know what I mean? People are coming in here and it's an AA meeting, right? And he's shaking. And at the end they go, does anybody want to get a 24-hour chip or a desire to change? The guy said, I drank this morning, but I do have a desire. And he was already shaking where he hadn't drank in 5-6 hours. The guy goes, old head walks over, most gangster shit I ever seen, puts his arm around him and says, it's all right, baby. None of us came in here on a winning streak. Dude, I was like, I had no intention of going to this meeting. The only reason I even went, believe it or not, wasn't because I was having a craving even. I had an hour to kill on the way to a writing session. And I was like, well, fuck it. I could either spend this hour scrolling on fucking TikTok or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I went into the meeting and I left and I walked in the writer's room and they was like, it's fun when we write together because everybody's got an idea. I said, boys, I don't know if this is the idea, but I want to tell you what just happened to me. I just seen one of the most beautiful acts of humanity I've ever seen. Because this guy's shaking, he's crying, and this dude's walking. I'm getting emotional because I'm watching it. The whole room's getting emotional. This dude just super cool, just kind of walks over to look almost like, I've seen this before. He was the only one. All of us were sad. This dude was happy. He walked over to smile like he'd seen it. He was like, oh, don't worry, baby. Nobody comes in here on a winning streak. And so I went back to the meeting a week later while we started the song. The guy ended up being like 25, 30 years clean. That came in to help the other guy. So we wrote the song. It's called Winning Streak. I've sung it on Saturday Night Live.
Wow.
It was cool. It's not even out yet. It'll be out on the album today. But
imagine if you didn't walk into that place.
Imagine if you didn't walk into that place, right?
Yeah.
Why is this like such a powerful clip that resonated with me so much as someone like who's actually never done drugs and who's never drank alcohol? It's because I understand like all of us like are facing our own battles every day. And to be honest, no one has like all the answers, and also like no one knows exactly what each of us is going through on an individual level. But knowing that like we're all battling something, sometimes like all it takes is just like having someone who's been there, who's been through like the same fight that we're going through, comfort us and like tell us like that everything's gonna be okay. They know because they got through it too. And once you hear that like it's all gonna be okay, sometimes like that's actually all you need like to keep going and to keep pushing onward. So this is like a very powerful lesson for all of us. Whether we're the one like being challenged right now, or whether like we're the one like who's overcome that challenge, and we can actually use that knowledge and that wisdom like to impart it into others who are going through that same battle right now. And now the final clip I want to share in today's edition of the Rabbit Hole Roundup is having to do with like transforming your perspective from seeing things as broken like to understanding like that actually could be the start of a new beginning.
If milk goes bad, it becomes yogurt. Yogurt is more valuable than milk. If it gets even worse, it turns into cheese. Cheese is more valuable than both yogurt and milk. And if grape juice turns sour, it transforms into wine, which is even more expensive than grape juice. You're not bad because you make mistakes. mistakes. Mistakes are the experiences that make you more valuable as a person. It is not practice that makes perfect. It is the mistakes we learn from that make perfect.
So, are you actually broken down, or are you actually nearing your own breakthrough? Because oftentimes, the worse off like you actually think you are, the closer you actually are to breaking through and breaking past your limits. So like, even if you might be down right now, even if like it may feel like you've been pushing on and like you can't go anymore, just going like another step is actually gonna transform you, and like it's actually gonna remind you that like your mistakes don't have to be defined as like mistakes. They can actually be like the experiences that actually lead you towards leveling up your life as a whole. And as the caption reads, light shines the brightest in the darkest of moments. Whatever you are going through won't last forever. Your higher self will never give you anything you couldn't handle. Keep going, you're exactly where you need to be. Love that powerful message. Powerful way to sum up this week's edition of the Rabbit Hole Roundup. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, make sure to leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel, be sure to buy the book. I love you guys. Much love, much positivity. Stay critical thinking. Stay positive. Stay hustling. I will catch you guys in the next episode. Peace.